Hi Geminis, so this is going to be a reading on what is next in love, okay? Shorter, what's next in love? Yeah, so didn't ask for anything in specific. It's just gonna be like what is next in love. Okay, so it could be just about anything that comes out. Okay, whatever spirit may want to say today to my Geminis that it's gonna reach out to. And yeah, send you guys love and light. Okay, some of you guys may really need to hear that. Let's see. Do you guys hear some little noises? Okay, it sounds kind of like scratching. My little dog over here, my little buddy, is playing with his toy. So just let him be. Ooh, talking about a dog, look at that. It says dog far away. Oh, before I get into that, remember that this is a general reading, so take what resonates, leave out what doesn't. Of course, there's no gender in tarot, and always feel free to switch or place the energies where you feel they need to be placed. Okay, before I even get into this card, I don't know why I'm getting this download. Take it if it resonates, obviously leave it out if it doesn't. Some of you guys could be going through a transformation, okay? Maybe you don't see it that way, or you don't know that it's a transformation as of yet, but there could be certain things that you're feeling you have a very different reaction to, or you just seem to be less bothered by certain things, or maybe you are finding yourself to have more emotional strength, okay? Maybe even mental strength in some kind of way, okay? Maybe there's something that you're kind of just able to push through a little more easier as opposed to maybe months ago, weeks ago, not really getting days ago. For some of you, this could be something where it's like it's been years since you've been able to like get to the place that you are now, mentally or emotionally, when it comes to a situation, okay? And this could also be like a sign of you healing some kind of aspect of some cycle, or yeah, something with like that you just used to have a very different reaction to. Okay, so let's get into this. And it says, dog far away, a distant friend is thinking of you. Okay, so what is next in love? Can I get those messages? Period of frustration, lessons to be learned, and it says funnel. Okay, excuse the angle, excuse the lighting. Okay, just bear with me. It's been a while since I've recorded a reading, so I'm working with what I can. I know I've said that in quite a bit of videos, but yeah. Okay, so it says period of frustration, lesson to be learned, and it says funnel. So for some of you, there could be lessons that you've needed to learn that haven't been the easiest, okay? You could have learned some kind of lesson with a friend or a person that you're now distant with. Maybe this could be someone that you have not talked to, okay? Your dog could be significant if you have a pet, or maybe just even seeing a dog. I don't know, for some of you, maybe you're out walking your dog, or for those of you who are gonna resonate with seeing a dog outside, I feel like a lot of you may not even be walking a dog, you just may run into one, okay? Yeah, there could have been like some kind of lesson that you needed to learn, and it could have been a lot, okay, with someone here. Younger man. It says dealing with a relationship with a younger man. This person could have been maybe a bit immature or a bit younger. Maybe I kind of hate, let me explain this, because sometimes, yes, you know, when you're younger, obviously you have a little bit more of like an adolescence energy. Not adolescence, but like, you know, more youthful energy. Or even with when you're like an adolescent, right? Age, you tend to be more immature, air quotes on that. But this could be someone that maybe just had a more young spirit. Maybe there was more things that they needed to learn. This could have been someone that may have even, I don't know, something about their facial expression could have been like this, like the person on the card here. Yeah, it says a change for the better. I feel like some of you guys could be letting go of someone that you had a friendship with, a very strong bond. Take the things that I'm saying as they resonate, because not everything will resonate, but you know, seeing butterflies could also be significant. Yeah, you could have felt a bit frustrated with this person. I'm getting this person could feel frustrated with themselves now. Let's see what I can get from this other half of the deck. Let's see. Give me more. November could be significant. Maybe a Scorpio, or the month of, you know, well, Scorpio and a Sagittarius, or just like the month of November could be very significant. I'm getting more so, yeah, something about last year in November. It says birth or conception of a child or enterprise. So something could have happened in November with a child, right? Because it says crib, so maybe a baby or a pregnancy, or something to do with, I'm even getting like something to do with childhood or child energy could be very significant here. I'm gonna get some tarot, but I'm just gonna get some, I don't know if I should go in with these cards. Okay, let's see. So give me what's next in love for my Geminis. Something also about Gemini season could be very significant, okay? I don't know about you guys, but I feel like Gemini season for me was like a lot of hermit energy for sure. It was like hermit energy, but at the same time, I feel like without even realizing, I was kind of learning some lessons that I'm now kind of sitting with myself, where I'm like, wow, like there's just certain things, I don't know, something about like learning lessons, or the month, like the Gemini season kind of been very significant. Okay, so it says outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over in your head. So for some of you, you could be letting go of some kind of old pattern, some kind of memories. Because the cassette, you're able to kind of put something right into the cassette, and you were able to listen to it as many times as you wanted to, right? It literally says replaying events over in your head. And if you think of like a cassette, you could listen to the music, you know, for how as long as you want. So some of you guys are letting go of some kind of cycle. And it's interesting because if I'm not mistaken, in the very beginning of the reading, I mentioned something about letting go of some kind of cycle or like an old pattern. Sorry guys, there goes my dog again. He's like scratching himself. So hey Zeus. Okay, so yeah, something could be very significant here with letting go. There he goes again, with some kind of cycle. There were a lot of lessons to learn. Yeah. Yeah, this could have been like a cycle. You know how I was saying something about transformation? If you guys go back to like earlier when I said something like that, I feel like for a lot of you, it's more than just days or weeks. It's been a while. So some of you guys could be letting go of some things that have been kind of like you've been in a cycle for a while. Yeah, heart with the key. It says welcoming love, meeting the one, open your heart, getting together, perfect. So you may be letting go of some kind of friendship or bond. For some of you, this could even be, I know it says a distant friend is thinking of you. This could be someone who maybe it never got off the ground, okay, that you're letting go of. Even if you've detached from them for a while, sometimes, yeah, we walk away physically, but like mentally, emotionally, we're still kind of there, right? So you could be letting go of this person. I'm getting maybe even for some of you even more so, okay? So like even more than you maybe have already. Sorry guys, there was like something on my phone. So yeah, and it's like you're opening your heart, or you're being guided to open your heart to welcome love, meeting the one. Maybe for some of you, you don't have like your heart space open. And it's interesting because I kind of felt intrigued to put a frequency of like love, like a healing love frequency. So for some of you, that is very significant here. Yeah, I'm getting something about, and that, of course, take it as it resonates, but, and obviously you make your own decisions. This reading just offers guidance or clarity, but it's like spirit, whoever you know, your spiritual team, your angels, they want you to open your heart space. Yeah, because at the bottom of that card that said heart with the key, it literally says right here, not enough. Frustrated in a relationship, lack of confidence, self-sabotage, fear/ego issues, and jealousy. There could be something that is not enough. Like, there could be lack in something. There could be like a lack in some kind of aspect in a connection or a relationship, or there was lack of, I'm getting like there was like an imbalance, okay? Yeah. Yeah, there's something here about let me see, give me more messages about what's next in love for my Geminis. The Runner. And I just seen this card. Runner in a codependent relationship, fear of intimacy, listening to ego. This person could have definitely listened to their ego. They had a fear of intimacy. This could be like, and I don't mean like, because a lot of times people think intimacy is just like on the physical end, right? Like just like the having, you know, how am I gonna say it without getting in trouble on YouTube? You know, fear of intimacy, where this person could only fuck, right? This could be someone who's fear of intimacy on like opening up, being vulnerable, you know, those kinds of things. This could have been someone that maybe when it came down to, you know, doing the poom poom, what did I say, the poom poom? You know, having intimacy, like physical intimacy, this is how you know I'm like having trouble with my words when I start saying when I'm just being realistic, I'm just being honest. It's also very late. There I go again. This could have been someone who was just very afraid of being vulnerable. Yeah. Let me see what's next for Gemini. See, yeah, and it says abundance. Keep a positive mindset. Manifest exactly what you want. Gratitude and bliss. Photograph. Looking at your photos, missing you, nostalgia, make new memories. It's like this person could definitely be at a distance, but they're thinking of you. There's nostalgia. Maybe there's photos, okay? Even if you never took like couple photos, it could be, you know, photos of whatever, okay? It doesn't have to be like you and this person you know, they were not, sorry guys, hold on. Some of you guys, maybe when you're watching this reading, you could get text messages, because I definitely just did, and it kind of threw me off. Yeah, it's like this person could have photos of you, and they're reminiscing. There's nostalgia. Make new memories. They want to make new memories, but the thing is, I feel like for a lot of you with the abundance here, keep a positive mindset, manifest exactly what you want, gratitude and bliss. Easier said than done. You know, you can easily just say keep a positive mindset, but it's like the actions can be very, you know, life gets in the way, and there's things, and I feel like a lot of you guys, you're just moving past this. For some of you, take it as it resonates, because I feel like this could be a few of you. You may be moving on from something current, but also letting go of something even before what you're in right now. Whether it's talking to someone, or I'm getting you could be letting go of just a cycle where there's been a lot of lessons, because look at the way this cup is filled. it's like your cup's about to explode. Maybe you've had to deal with a lot emotionally. You're always the one that has to be there. I'm just getting like there's a lot on your end. Yeah, confirmation on what I just said. It says right here, mirroring each other, self-image, relationships reflect our wounds. Big emphasis on that one. Relationships reflect our wounds and introspection. A lot of you guys could be maybe looking at parts of yourself. Like when people say look at yourself in the mirror, I mean, yeah, metaphorically speaking, of course maybe you could be looking at yourself in the mirror, but I'm getting like you could be feeling like a lot of relationships you've had reflect maybe wounds that you didn't even know you had, or that the person you were with has. You know, I know this sounds very cliche, and I'm definitely, even myself, you know, I'm even still learning this and probably will continue to learn this. Sorry guys, that was my arm. We definitely attract people because they mirror and reflect an aspect of ourselves. Whether it's sometimes a more positive thing, or a more negative, or a more high vibrational, or a more low vibrational thing, but it mirrors something in us, something that we either need to change, we need to fix, we need to look at, we need to heal from. And I know this is not like, oh my goodness, sunshines, rainbows, glitters, and lollipops kind of a reading, but I'm getting a lot of you guys could be like I said, it literally, the confirmation, thank you for the confirmation, spiritual team. As I was saying in the beginning of the reading, like there's something here where maybe words or actions or something, right, could have affected you, and you're now stronger. Maybe you're less reactive, less emotional, because you're healing from it. This could have recently started too, and I know, I think on TikTok, great place to get your astrology information, huh, if I do say so myself, but I do remember seeing, I don't remember her name, I wish I could give her credit. She was saying something about like some kind of place, I don't know if it was like something happening for Geminis, and I think it says something about like Gemini right now is in is in an energy where they're unstoppable, or they're learning and, you know, manifesting. So a lot of you guys who are gonna resonate with this reading, you're letting go of some kind of cycle to open a new one. Yup. I think there's like some kind of meme or something that says yup. Or I think it's like some kind of a song. I don't remember. It says, Girl with a Snake, Empath, and Narcissist Pentagram, Being Charmed or Used, Enable, and Boundaries. So some of you guys could be learning lessons about boundaries. Maybe you're the empath and you've attracted narcissistic people, or maybe even people who have just narcissistic tendencies, you know, because sometimes, you know, I don't like to just throw out narcissists, like, because I feel like nowadays almost anybody could be categorized as narcissist, which I don't think that's the greatest, you know, but there are people out there that they don't need to necessarily have, you know, narcissism, but they can have strong narcissistic tendencies because of the things that they've, you know, either have gone through or how they grew up. You know, not an excuse, but you could be the empath, or maybe even you, right? However you see fit, could be the one on the narcissistic side. But I'm getting a lot of you who are resonating with this. You're the empath, Gemini, where maybe you know, are understanding, or you try to see the other side, which, you know, I will say, you know, as a Gemini, sometimes that could be seen as like a bad trait, like almost two-faced. But I think a lot of the times we're just trying to see the other person's perspective, and not everybody always sees it like that. Yeah, see? And it says right here, mask, not showing true feelings, hide personality, pretend, delude, gaslighting, not today, not dealing, hurt, avoiding a conversation, call, person, boundaries, still angry. Yeah, so it's like you're avoiding maybe people or a person in specific situations, maybe where people have like a mask on. And was I not just talking about like that two-faced kind of energy that people tend to think is associated with Geminis? You could be letting go of that. You could be having like a boundary, or you need to have boundaries when it comes to this. And it says someone likes you, romance is blooming, fun flirting, want to date. And under that it says, well, it says twin flames. It says twin flames on there. I'm kind of 50-50 with the whole twin flame thing, but anyway, that's a whole other topic. I feel like a lot of you guys are attracting someone here that is going to, it might feel lighthearted, but it may need to feel that way or be that way at first. Okay, let me see if I could get anything about this person. So Spirit, please help me get messages from this person. Okay, who is Gemini blooming romance with? A Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so don't look at the fact that it says a queen. Gender doesn't matter. Maybe a Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, or somebody that, you know, doesn't have to be that sign, just earth sign. It could be someone who's stable. Maybe they have like grounded energy. Okay, because a lot of times people tend to look at this as just like, or you know, if someone were to look at this and be like, oh, it would just be like money, right? But Queen of Pentacles has had to learn how to ground, because to be abundant, you also have to be grounded in some aspect. It's not just about like the money. Let's see, give me more with the tarot. The Star card. The Two of Cups. Yeah. Aquarius energies right here. The Two of Cups. Okay, so this is somebody where it's going to be equal give and take. I give you, you give me. I pour into your cup, you pour into mine. So in other words, I put effort, you put effort. The Star card. Give me a little more about that Star card. Yeah, Four of Cups reversed. It's someone here that has let go. Even before that card came out, I was getting some kind of clue. My intuition was telling me something about like purging. So this could be someone who's let go of either something, you know, that maybe was like baggage, okay, and they purged it out, meaning like they've healed from it. Maybe something to do with emotions, okay, so like an emotional cleanse. Because upright, this will be like stuck in somewhat like the past, things that are like not even supposed to be paid attention to. And reversed, yeah, it's like this person, it's someone that will see how they can give to you like you can give to them. You know, like equal give and take. There could be something very healing about this person, okay? Something maybe even quite unique. The Ace of Cups. Yeah. It's somebody here who I feel like is new. Yeah, I'm getting something about they bring up new emotions. It's an opportunity of love. The Chariot. Cancer season could be very significant. We're in Cancer season as of like still as I'm going to upload and recording this reading. So yeah, Cancer season could be very significant. So June, July. Some of you guys are gonna start this journey if you're not feeling what I was talking about as of yet, you're going to start it very soon. Something about next week. So for some of you, maybe like you may start to have this energy as like maybe next week. I don't like to give exact time frame though, so take that as what I just said as it resonates. Yeah, and for some of you, you're seeing like maybe things that have been hidden, like in your feelings, things that you maybe haven't felt or you've allowed yourself to feel. And remember that the person on the Chariot, regardless of gender, because there's no gender specifications on this, it's somebody who's very strong, okay? They, you know, the person on the Chariot, the person that's on the Chariot is like, you know, if you're coming with me, great, and if I have to leave you behind, that's great too. You know, unapologetically, sorry not sorry kind of energy, right? So for some of you, you could be starting this journey very soon. Yeah. Yeah, for those of you who maybe you're like, no, I don't feel this energy as of yet, you're going to feel this energy soon if you're not on that already. You know, and I know this isn't like, again, like I said, like a what's next in love, like, you know, rainbows, glitters, and lollipops, sunshine kind of a reading. It is a little more heavy, but it is what's next in love. And I feel like this has to do with, you know, when we have connections with a person, it's not just about that other person, it's also about you, you know, because in between that, there's lessons that we could learn about self-love and boundaries and all that stuff that we often hear about that can seem so repetitive and cliche, but a lot of times it is very true, you know, when you really look at it from a more, you know, like a perspective of like growth and not things happening to you but for you. For some of you, could also be getting a message intuitively very soon, some kind of download. Okay, maybe for some of you, this is confirmation or guidance, clarity of some kind, this reading that I'm giving to you guys right now. Or this could be like a message coming to you through your intuition. Maybe for some of you, your crown chakra could be significant, okay? I'm being very intrigued to this High Priestess's, because I'm looking at the cards, okay? And I'm intrigued to like the little crown here of the High Priestess. So that could be very significant here. Yeah, I'm getting guided to leave it at this reading at that. I'm also wanting to see if I get any more clues about like this new energy, but I'm getting no. Let's see if I could get just anything else that Gemini needs to know about this newish love. The Eight of Pentacles and the Temperance. This could be during a time here while you're working on maybe something actually like you're at work, okay, and really paying attention to detail of something at work. Maybe like while you're focused on, you know, like while you're out there making your money, you know, or focusing on some kind of skill, or really focus on something at work, okay? Like physically you could be putting, you know, work into something, because this is like, you know, pentacle energy. Or it could be like while you're putting in attention to detail into something, okay? And I feel like I feel like in overall, like the energy that I'm getting off the images of these cards, you know, not just looking at like the what am I talking about? The general meaning of these cards, I'm getting there's something here where you're maybe not like out paying attention. I know that seems like another cliche thing. People always say like, oh, when you're not paying attention or looking for something, that's when it finds you. But I feel like this is something where it finds you when you're not, sorry guys about the love card, it finds you when you're trying to balance something out. Maybe you're also trying to balance out something within like your stability or money. Maybe when you're more like, yeah, like on your own. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it at that, okay? Yeah, see, like on your own, the Hermit, I just flipped that and look at that. This is what is on top, right when I was gonna put it down. Signs much? Yeah, well, you're like in Hermit. Now, I'm not getting Hermit as in like you're completely, I think a lot of times sometimes we can think like Hermit as in like we're completely secluded, there's no one around, we're lonely. Hermit could just be where like maybe you're out, you know, and about. Doesn't mean you're stuck home all day, but maybe there's an aspect where you spend more time alone than you do with people, or when you do have that downtime, you take it to like relax or meditate, or maybe kind of like see things for what it is. Because look at the Hermit, you know, things that sometimes we see when we're alone, we wouldn't have been able to do that while we were out like at a party or talking to people, because you know, we're distracted in a way, or we're occupied. So I feel like this is during a time where you're not like necessarily looking for a person, okay, or like thinking maybe about romance. It could be during a time where you're more like in reflective energy, okay? Maybe when you're a little bit more isolated. I hope I'm explaining that correctly, but yeah. Okay, so do I leave it at that now? I've been saying I'm gonna leave it at that for like the past 5 minutes. Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it at that. I hope you guys got some clarity and or guidance, or both. And yeah, that was What's Next in Love for Gemini reading. And yeah, bye bye.